Are you feeling stuck in your pickleball game? Maybe you're playing 3.0, maybe even 3.5, but you've been there for a while. What is it that the 4.0 players and above know that you don't know? In this video, we're going to share with you 3 key techniques that the 4.0 players know and use, and that you too can add to your game. Hello, my name is Tony Roig from Into Pickle. Together with my partner CJ Johnson from Better Pickleball, we provide the best online training through our program, WeArePickleball. And let's talk about what happens. What is it that holds players back from their path to improvement? What is it that stops the improvement of a player? The ranks of the 3.0 and the 3.5 are filled with a lot of players who could advance to 4.0 if they only knew how to get out of the plateau, how to get out of being stuck in the situation that they're in. By adding these 3 tips, these 3 keys to success, you too can break through and continue your advancement. Let's get into it. Make sure you stay tuned until the 3rd tip in this video, which is the strategic tip. Without strategy, it's really hard to advance at pickleball. Think about it like being a captain of a ship out on the ocean. You have no compass and you have no map. How are you going to get to where you're going? It's the same thing with pickleball. Understanding the strategy of this game and how the game is played is how you know how to map your course and get to where you want to. All right, so the first thing that 4.0 and higher players do when they play pickleball is they play it with intentionality. Every shot that a 4.0 or higher player hits, or at least most of them, have a purpose. They have an intention to them. Whether it's a third shot drop or whether it's a drive, whatever it is that they're doing, whatever they're hitting, has a purpose behind it, an intention or an objective that they're trying to accomplish. Let's see what that looks like.
This is a 4.5 match from Nationals a few years ago. What I want to focus on first is the team on the other side, the team in the green. What you're going to see is the server is going to hit 2 drives, one off of a ground stroke and one off of a volley. Both of these shots are very intentional shots. She's taken advantage of opportunities that are presented by these balls and trying to attack the other team. This reset shot hit by the player in white on the right here is also intentional. She's trying to diffuse the attacks of the opponents. I paused the rally here for a second because I want to really hone in on this particular shot. This is going to be an attempted dink or roll dink over to from her right to her left by this player. And what happens is the ball goes a bit high, so it might be characterized as a pop-up, but the shot is still an intentional shot. The fact that the result of the shot was a high ball does not change the fact that the shot is an intentional shot by this player. And it's the difference a lot of times between the 4.0 plus players like these players are and players that haven't gotten to their level. If you want to know more about playing purposeful pickleball and playing pickleball with intentionality, I encourage you to join us at WeArePickleball. Let's look at another rally from this same match. This time we're going to be focusing on the near team, the team in the red and the white. What you're going to see here is 2 different shots hit by the player in white. The first shot is an attempted third shot roll. Basically, it's like a drive roll. It doesn't go perfect, but it's still an intentional shot. And then what she does is she changes her mind and goes up in the air for the lob. Again, intentional play by the team is what makes a difference.
3.0 and 3.5 pickleball players often play reactionary pickleball. What I mean by that is instead of being out on the pickleball court and intending your targets on your shots or trying to aim for a certain spot on the court when you're playing, what these players do too often is they basically hit the ball over and over again into zones that don't make sense for what they're trying to accomplish. A good example of that is this slam zone. So in this area here, about say like chest to about here, and there's a rectangle, right, or a box right here, and basically this box indicates where the other team can slam. So you're going to have a player here and you're going to have a player here, and this zone here allows the opponents to just continually slam ball after ball after ball, not accomplishing the objectives of the team on that side. So instead of hitting balls into the slam zone, what you're going to do when you're playing with intentionality, when you're playing purposeful pickleball, is you're going to hit balls into spots where the ball can't be slammed back at you. The first thing you need to add to your game if you want to break out of a 3.0 or 3.5 level is intentionality. You need to have a purpose for every shot that you hit. Now, it's going to happen. You're going to slip back into the reactionary play. It's human nature, right? We go out there and sometimes we become reactionary. The key right now is to notice it. So what you want to do is you're out there, you hit a reactionary shot, notice what you're doing, and give yourself a pass. Okay, I was reactionary. And then the next rally, focus on adding intentionality. Eventually what will happen is it'll just become a habit. You'll become intentional with every shot, and that's how you're going to basically add this step into your game. So we've added intentionality to our game. What is the number 2 key to success that 4.0 plus pickleball players do better than 3.5 or 3.0 pickleball players? It's hit the ball consistently and repeatably in the same spot. In other words, it is having a good foundational stroke mechanic or shot mechanic that allows them not to make as many errors when they're hitting the ball. Having solid shot mechanics is what CJ and I call the mechanical pillar of pickleball. If you don't know about the 3 pillars of pickleball, and you'll need all 3 if you really want to keep going in this game, I'm going to link below to a place where you can download our 3 pillars to pickleball guide. It'll give you the 3 pillars and give you some tips on how to improve in all 3. So how do you improve your mechanical pillar? How do you get better at your shots, getting more consistent and repeatable? It's by getting out and practicing the shot. You have to have repetition. And the repetition then will give you confidence and comfort when you're in a game time situation. If you've hit a shot 500 times, 1,000 times, when you get out on the court to play a game, it'll be second nature. You'll just reach out and hit the shot exactly the way you need to hit it without having to think about it. That's the advantage of repeating the shot over and over again in a controlled drill and practice environment. There are several different ways that you can work on the mechanical side of the game, including hitting against the wall. If you don't know who this is in this video, this is Deb Harrison. She is one of the most decorated pickleball players in the history of pickleball. She's one of the top super senior players in the country. And today, the day of today, she still practices against the wall. Why? Because she knows it helps her game. So practice against the wall. It's your friend, doesn't ever judge you, and will give you as many shots, as many repetitions as you want. Another option is to use indoor drills, or you can do them either ghosting basically by yourself or in front of a mirror so you can see what you're doing. We have a lot of indoor drills at WeArePickleball, and that's a really good technique for improving muscle memory and just getting comfortable with a shot without any sort of judgment being involved. Another thing you can do is you come out to the court with a bag of balls. You can see I have a bag here at my feet. Basically, I have about 15 or 16 balls in there, and I can practice pretty much any ground stroke that I want to practice. I can practice with this bag of balls. For instance, I can practice my 3rd shot drop. I'll land it right in the non-volley zone. Take my word for it. I can practice my serves. Pretty decent serve, a little off center, but not too bad. I can even practice my returns of serve. And to make it more interesting, I can move the ball around. So I can drop it over here, I can move to it, and then hit my return of serve. So you can do a ton of work with a bag of balls and a court and no partner. The last thing you can do is you can practice with a partner. So if you have a partner that's willing to come out and meet you to drill, that's great. Even if you don't have a partner that's willing to come out and meet you for an hour and a half drilling session, what you can do is next time you go out to rec play or to your group play, get there a little bit early, find somebody who's there and ask them to come out in the court and work with you. The key is to work, when you're working, work with intentionality, right? Work with purpose and really focus on developing the shot. If you want to improve on the second key to your success, work on the shots. Make sure you get out there and just do some work. Walls are fine. Mirror is fine, on the court by yourself or with a friend. Any option. Just get out there and make sure you practice. What's really important though is make sure that you practice the right technique. If you're practicing the wrong technique, then you're just basically grooving or further grooving a shot that you don't want to hit. You want to make sure that your technique is sound, and then you want to repeat that over and over again to make sure you gain more confidence when you're out on the court. All right, so we have 2 of the 3 things that 4.0 players know, but you may not, down. Let's talk about a third one. Third one is strategy. Strategy is how we play the game. It is knowing what shot to hit when. So you have the mechanical part down, right? You know how to, you can hit the 3rd shot. Now you have to decide, is the 3rd shot the shot I want to hit in this situation? That'll depend on a number of factors. It'll depend on where you and your partner are, where your opponents are, both of them. Where's the ball? How high is it? How deep is it, right? All those factors influence what shot makes sense to hit next. That's where understanding strategy becomes critical to your improvement. Understanding how to play the game, understanding what shot to hit when, is what we call the second pillar, which is the strategic pillar of pickleball. Again, I'll link below if you want to know more about the pillars. Really important to understand these 3 pillars if you want to advance in the game of pickleball. Let's look at a concrete example of how not understanding proper strategy can hurt your game. As you start to study pickleball and you understand the geometry of the game better, you'll start to see these types of things. One area that we see happens a lot, particularly in rec play 3.0, 3.5 level, is players not understanding the disadvantage of attacking low to high. What happens there a lot of times is you have a player who's a little bit off the non-volley zone. They have a low ball, say around here, and what they'll do is they'll take this ball and they'll attack it. Now what happens if I attack a ball from here against a player that knows what they're doing? There's two options. If I go low to high, either they're going to let the ball go if I hit it really hard, and the ball's going to land out. If I hit hard from here, ball's going out. Or if my ball's slow enough, what are they going to do? They're now going to take a ball that goes from here to there. On the other side, they're going to hit it here, and they're going to hit down on it. So if I'm attacking low to high, I'm putting myself in a really, really bad spot. Attacking low to high, either out ball or counterattack. And here's the key. The counterattack is now what? High to low. So I'm going low to high against high to low. A really difficult way to play pickleball, really difficult way to win pickleball at pickleball. So what you want to do is, as you study the game, you start understanding these concepts, and you understand that when you have a ball that's low, 9 times out of 10, or even more than that, the right shot is going to be a nice gentle shot over the net. So how do you study the game? What's involved with studying the game? It literally means studying pickleball. So you're going to watch videos, but you're going to watch them with a different eye. So if you're watching match play, for instance, like stream matches and things like that, very entertaining, enjoy the match. But if you want to advance as a pickleball player, what you need to do is you need to break down what those players are doing. You need to look at what they're doing, and you need to figure out, why is this ball being hit here? Why is the team moving the way they're moving? How's the other team defending? Things like that. You need to look for patterns of play. There's all sorts of aspects of breaking down the game. Let me show you a couple of examples of how we do it inside WeArePickleball, so you get a better sense of how to break down and study the game. You'll be able to volley it from there, but the question is, where would you hit the fourth shot volley from your waist to your knee from here, if you're this player?
That ball all the time, where she rolls it over like that, goes a little higher than she wants. Okay, no big deal. Now what does she do? She says, you know what? That's an intentional shot right there, right?
If you're stuck as a player, add these 3 things to your game. First, add intentionality to your game. Be the protagonist when you're on the court. You dictate the way the game is played. Number 2, practice your shots until you have a nice groove with them, until you're comfortable and confident and can repeat them over and over again. And 3, learn the game. Understand what pickleball strategies work the best and which don't work so well. If you add all these 3 to your game, you'll continue on your path to a 4.0 player. If you're serious about improving and you want our help, check us out at WeArePickleball.com. Good luck out there.